In this video, you're going to be able to see Daphne's third and fourth ride. The first thing I'm doing here is getting her situated so that she can stand still to mount. Getting her situated means getting her legs spread apart some so that she can handle somebody mounting up onto her. And here you see she did a great job. And she's even just facing just a tad downhill. No problem. Now this is only her third ride, so she's not very used to a bit yet. So the next thing we're going to do is work on flexing, and it'll be a little bit tricky for her, and that's okay. We're just going to hang out and help her learn what we're asking. You're going to want to stay tuned. There's later on, we have just something that came right out of the blue. It was pretty crazy. You'll have to watch for that. Today we're going to be working a lot on forward movement and then a little bit of flexing, bending, and moving over that back end. Again, this is Daphne's third ride. She is a wild donkey, and she has been here for almost a year. She is a complete sweetie, and on the ground, her movement is so fluid. And later on when I'm trotting, you'll be able to see that my head hardly even moves. So I'm going to do a little bit of steering today, but mostly we're going to be working on forward movement. Now here again, we're just trying to get that flexing there. And then here now I'm asking for her to move over her back end. When she does what I ask, I just leave her alone, maybe pet her a little bit, and rotate to the other side. So if you've ever wondered how to get your donkey to be a riding donkey and to move when you ask, not just be stuck in the mud, this will be a great video for you. Daphne will be available for somebody soon. It's very important when we start with the forward motion that we leave her alone anytime she leans forward or takes a step. Donkeys are experts at learning to tune people out, so we want to get in there and get out. So get in there means I'm going to ask with my legs for that forward movement, and then get out means as soon as she moves her feet or leans forward, I stop moving my legs. That there is a very key component to helping create a donkey that is great out on the trail or whenever you're riding them without having to babysit them to keep that forward movement going. She is a very smooth ride. Such a good girl on her third ride. She steps out nicely, and while she's stepping out there, you see I'm just leaving her alone. And here I'm asking for a turn, and she fights it a little bit. But again, I'm not concerned about that. This is her third ride, and she's just learning how to follow that loose, feel. I want her to follow the feel of the lead rope, or the rein. And I'm using a snaffle bit with her. I'll have links for the snaffle bit that I'm using. The saddle that I'm using is a Steve Edwards saddle, and I also have a custom ordered saddle coming from Reed Veit. And I'll put links for that information for those two people as well. Now, when I do first start to ask for trotting, I'm going to make sure I set that up for a spot where she's most likely going to want to trot, and going back towards the group is going to be that spot. Now here she's moving out great again. She's going forward, so I'm leaving her alone, but look at how well she moves out. What a sweet donkey. Now, as long as she's moving and going the speed that I'm wanting, I am not going to do anything with my legs at all. Just leave her alone and let her do her thing and enjoy her ride. Now, Daphne has her own playlist, so you can check out that playlist. I'll have a link in the description for that, and that will go over lots of her different training over the last year's time, showing how we got to where we are today. We're preparing her to go to the Ty Evans Clinic, and Carrie is going to be riding her, doing the groundwork class and the riding class for that clinic. Carrie's very excited to participate and just keep on learning all of this. There's so much. Here I'm asking for her to turn a little bit. She's a little bit struggling with it, but I'm just going to hang out with it. I'm not asking for a big turn, just a little bit of a wide turn. Now later on, as she keeps progressing, we'll start doing a lot more circles and straight lines. We're going to really focus on her being able to keep a loose rein whenever we're riding. That's our goal. But sometimes we do have to pick up on that rein to let her know what we're wanting. Right now, she's still learning what we're asking and learning of what it's like to be a riding donkey. She comes from the band Seven Troughs band. And again, we've had her for about a year. And boy, I think she's 9 years old. I'll have to double check that though. But she sure is a sweet, sweet girl. She is one that when you show her you love her, she's going to do anything for you. So over time, we're going to be working on moving all 4 legs, plus that forward movement and then the loose rein. We want to be building all towards that and just have fun with it. I'd love to hear your comments, guys. If you're working on a riding donkey, I'm very excited to be able to teach donkeys to do all 3 gaits when we're asking them to do it. Now, I have gotten donkeys to lope, but it's not consistent yet. But look at her trot. This little girl, she's picking up her speed and she's just rocking it. Just such a smooth ride. There, I asked for it a moment ago. And when she started to trot, then I started to leave her alone again. Just a smooth, smooth ride, guys. Very proud of her. So things to remember is when you start to ask with your legs for that forward movement, as soon as they start to go forward, you leave them alone. And if you're asking for them to increase the speed, make sure you're setting it up to where they're going to want to go increase that speed, especially when we're starting to teach them this. There's going to be areas in the pasture around pen that maybe they get a little bit more excited, and that's the spot to ask for increased speed. Now, when you're asking for the forward movement, they can get dull to our legs. We're not using spurs, but they can still get dull to our legs. So from here, I would use like my rope or wave my arms, just do something to help get that forward movement so that she doesn't keep hanging out, being stuck in the mud there like she is. One step, even though it was to the side, that's a spot to release. The other thing you can do if they start to get stuck in the mud is pick up that rein. Sometimes when you can get a bend with it, it can help with the forward movement. But I do like to use the lead rope. You see how she has her halter and lead rope still. Using that lead rope to help wave it around and get forward movement is a great way to do that. When you're working with a donkey, timing is everything. Now, it's important with all equine, but especially with a donkey. When you're walking and you want to get to that trot, when they pick up the front inside leg, if you bump at that time, when that foot is already up, that can help get that increased speed. There's been more than one time where I've been riding on a donkey and I think that they're tired or just not into it or maybe lazy, and it really comes down to timing. So when I can get my timing going really well, that's where I get the best results when I'm working with my donkeys. When it comes down to this, timing is everything. Now check out this storm. Holy buckets. It's a windstorm, guys. Look at that sand blowing everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, wow. That just came out of nowhere. But we're still riding through it. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Love it if you hit that like and subscribe button. I highly recommend spending time to feel those feet individually. Feel the feet when they pick up or come up off the ground and when they come onto the ground. Being able to feel their feet is going to help your ride. Thanks so much for watching, and I'd love to hear your comments about your journey riding with your donkeys. Thanks again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. This here is Daphne on her 4th ride. Wild Donkey from the Seven Troughs Band.